first full music video has been filmed with Steve. Send it to Phil while we're recording. I pressed record in case anything funny happened while we were sitting here dealing with that. So good morning.
Good morning.
I'm out of breath. We've been having a dance party with Steve.
Lord, Ellie Goulding, man.
Goulding.
Hype. I think she's our generation's Cher, and I know that's disrespectful.
You think?
To so many people, but Ellie's really great. I think she's great.
Her plastic surgeon did a good job too.
Oh,
she's had some filler, I think. She looks a little different than she did way back when. I saw a picture of her the other day, and I was just like, I almost didn't recognize her.
Yeah.
But, you know, it happens.
It happens.
Hello. It's me. I was wondering what you wanted to bitch at me today about.
Today, I have a lot of friends who need a little help here. I need a little help here from time to time, too.
Mm-hmm. As do I.
With the ability to be able to spot a narcissist.
Bum, bum, bum.
And like, I get so frustrated with this subject because my empathy and because of how I grew up. Because the way that it's portrayed in most, like, if you Google how to spot a narcissist, it's all like, they lack empathy. They do
Google
this. Yeah, let's Google it.
I probably should have Googled it. About 3 people before now.
Yeah. But whenever you Google narcissism and like what narcissism looks like, they only give you what it looks like after the mask falls off. Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest issue with relationships with narcissistic people is the love bombing. And nobody really knows what love bombing looks like and how to spot.
Until after it's been bombed.
Until after everything, all the honeymoon's over. Mm-hmm. And that's where that comes from. The honeymoon's over. The honeymoon should never be over. If your partner is masking, mm-hmm. that's when the mask falls off.
And I'll be the first to say, it is a drastic change when it does fall off.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I just Googled that, right?
Yeah.
And there are 9, according to this article, there's like 47,000 pages of how to spot narcissism on Google.
Yeah.
But these are the 9 warning signs that are at the top. So these people paid the most to be at the top. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So a narcissist has an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's one. A narcissist believes that they're special or unique when really y'all just busted basic bitches just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
A narcissist requires an excessive amount of admiration.
They do.
Yeah, because they're succubusing your energy.
They are.
A narcissist has a sense of entitlement.
Absolutely.
Yes. They lack empathy, which is that's the biggest one that everybody runs to immediately.
Yeah.
A narcissist is envious of others and believes others are envious of them.
Yeah.
They behave in an arrogant or haughty manner. Mm-hmm. And they're preoccupied with fantasies of success and the perfect mate.
But no action.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And they take advantage of others.
Yes.
And so those are the 9 warning signs of a narcissist.
Most of the articles give you a very clinical description of what all of those look like. Let's actually go through that same list. Okay. Let's go through that same list, but we're first going to start with the love bombing because that list didn't even mention it.
No, and love bombing's honestly, that right there should be red flag number 1.
It's the love bombing that really gets you in there. It really gets you stuck because what happens is little old pitiful, not confident, shy, anxious, whoever you are.
Quit talking about me.
There.
I'm sitting right
you and almost every other female in the world.
Literally.
Whenever a narcissist finds you, and the thing is a narcissist is delusional in so many different ways, but they're very manipulative naturally. Mm-hmm. Some of them don't even know they're doing it.
Right.
And most of them honestly don't. They think that that's just how it's supposed to go. This is how I get a girl.
Or a man.
Or a man. And so they come up and they make all your wildest fantasies happen. They make you feel like you are the most special human in the world because they are showing you the love that they want. I feel like in the love bombing stage, they are very excited about this new relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens is you slowly come back to reality. You slowly come off that manic high.
You realize that real life is difficult with a partner.
And in a way, I feel like it's a BPD split.
Yeah.
In a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like
a multiple personality disorder kind of thing.
Yeah. And what happens is real life happens or something triggers. And you might see these little triggers come out in a little way, like they get really frustrated because there's dishes in the sink, and then you start, making sure that the dishes are clean. You're like, that's no big deal. I shouldn't leave them there anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't have that frustration anymore, and you're like, oh, it got better.
Yeah.
But really, they just controlled you.
Yeah.
And they see these little ways that they're like, okay, she listens to me. Good.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. And they continue pumping in that love until it gets to a point to where he's like, I need your location at all times.
Yeah.
And then he's texting you or she's texting you being like, where are you?
Yeah.
Why does your location ping over here?
Mm-hmm.
And
meanwhile, while they turn theirs off,
yes,
and you have no idea where they are.
And that, I feel like, was one of the hardest things that Colby taught me, because I have control issues. I want to know where you are. I want to know you're safe.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you take a little too long getting home, it's not that I'm worried that you're out doing something. It's
You're
more
an
that
anxious bitch.
I'm worried you got in a wreck. I'm worried you're dead. I'm worried that, and he's gotten to where, like, he'll fill me in, hey, I'm going to stop at the store on the way home, just to give me, like, a time frame. And it makes it a lot better. And if he gets, like, caught in traffic, he's like, hey, there's traffic. Because he knows that I'm more worried about his safety.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about him going out and cheating. But narcissists, I feel like that's their biggest concern, because they inherently and in their DNA and the way that they were brought up feel like they're not good enough. The real them is not good enough. That's why they show you the mask. And then something crazy happens, like you get in a car wreck or something, and he goes the fuck off and starts beating the shit out of the person who ran into your bumper. And you see the rage. There's your sign that you're dating a narcissist. There's your sign that this guy is probably, or girl, because we've got some ex-girlfriends.
Yeah, we do. And you're describing her perfectly.
Mm-hmm. We've got some ex-girlfriends that do that, and parents and aunts and uncles and sisters and brothers. And everybody has a narcissist in their lives.
It's just how well you control.
And they're very cunning when they want something. Mm-hmm. It's when they demand something that oh, he's so sexy. Oh, that's attractive. Tell me what to do, baby. Wears off.
Yeah.
So be cautious of the love bombing. They are going to give you everything that you want, everything you ask for. And it's because they're in this fantasy land.
Right. And then when the fantasy wears off, then you start getting breadcrumbed because they do just enough to show you that they're listening or they're paying attention, and they'll go right back to doing absolutely nothing.
And our empathy and people pleasing, I feel like, keeps us there, because we see, hey, this person is just broken. They're so sad. I want to be here for them.
Let me fix.
I want to show them what love is. I want to show them what love is the right way. And you're sitting here giving all this love, trying to teach them how to be better, trying to show them through your actions and showing them that you love them, because they're constantly saying, you don't love me enough, or if you loved me, you'd. All those are also signs of a narcissist. You do not make those. Like, whenever you call out the other partner for doing something, like, I feel like it needs to come from a place of, when you do these actions, it triggers this and makes me feel this way, because surprise, surprise, I'm actually a recovered narcissist. And you can say they don't exist, but they do. I've been 21 years on this train of overcoming this shit. And I still, like, there was one point in my life where I thought we were supposed to manipulate it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was brought up that way. You manipulate everybody to get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get what you want.
Get what you want.
And there's so many people that live in that same mind frame still because they can't open their ears and their eyes and wake up to see that their little bubble is not the same as everybody else's.
And it's quite small compared to the grand scheme of things.
Tiny, tiny. Like, I know so many people that are narcissists and they behave just like their parents. And everything that they are frustrated and mad about is coming out in them, even though it came from their parents. Mm-hmm. They can't give it back. They don't know how. Mm-hmm. And I had that rage for a really long time. So let's go through the list and let's figure out, let's give examples of what each of those look like after the love bombing stage, which can last a month. It could last a year. Mm-hmm. There's some narcissists, they don't even know they're unhappy until they're unhappy, you know?
Yeah. So we've got, let's start at the bottom, because I think the bottom, it kind of goes more arrogance.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this will come in a mansplaining way most of the time, I feel like. I feel like whenever you make a mistake or you do something the way that you were brought up doing it, like folding towels.
Right.
Whenever you fold towels 4 times and she likes it folded 5 times to make the cabinet look more aesthetically pleasing. Mm-hmm. And she's like, no, you don't fold towels that way. You fold them this way. Look how much prettier it is. My way is the only way. Yeah. Kind of thing. That's the arrogance, because they really do live in that bubble. They live in their eye sockets. They can't get
past their own nose. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of these people have also hormonal issues, whether it's higher testosterone, definitely higher cortisol, because really what's happened is they've spent their whole life in fight or flight and they don't know how to come out of it. Mm-hmm. They are in survival mode constantly, and they think every facet of life is survive or die.
Right.
And
there's no middle ground
when it comes to how many creamers you put in their coffee, you know? Yeah. And these are the little tiny things that a narcissist will spaz about. Like if you go to McDonald's and you say light cream and the bitch at the window does 5 creams anyways, and you bring it home and they're like, this is fucking gross, and just throws it and has a whole bad day.
Oh, yeah. So, right. My ex would actually, she would send me out. I'd have to go to Starbucks or somewhere. Every single place that we went, she had some sort of special tweak. And she's just like, I'm autistic. I need it to be that way. And she's also a person that uses her diagnosis to manipulate.
Yeah, there's many out there.
But I would go, if anything, like one time we went to Burger King or something, and I was driving away and they had forgotten something, the hash browns or something stupid. I don't know. Full tantrum, threw a fit, refused to eat it.
Yeah. It's like every little moment is the cherry on top.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that's the final straw.
Constant chaos.
Because they're living in that fight or flight. And if one little thing goes wrong, it ruins the whole pattern of the day. Yeah. And I lived in that for the longest time. I remember I'd get up in the morning and there'd be cat puke in the floor, and that would set off my whole day.
Right.
The whole fucking day ruined.
Yeah.
And it was like I couldn't help how I felt inside. I couldn't control it. I had 0 coping skills, even though I had already spent several years in therapy.
Right.
And a lot of these narcissists that are out and about they think their arrogance leads them to believe that nothing is wrong with them. What they're doing is absolutely normal because they were brought up in that. And there are several people in their lives that act that way.
And validate it.
Mm-hmm. And
which leads into the grandiose sense of self-importance.
Yes. Yeah.
And the need for excessive admiration.
Yes. I feel like the need for the admiration is really seated in the fact that they didn't get it as a child.
Yeah.
And it's a long line of generational curse is what that is. And if they haven't broken it by now,
It ain't gonna get broke.
Either they're going to get broke for it to break.
Yeah.
Or it's not going to get broke.
And they're just going to break everyone else.
Yeah, in the process.
Right.
And it's so sad to me because really it all does come from somebody growing up and having traumatic experiences on repeat that made it so consistent that they don't see the world in any other way. That's a terrible way to live your life. Like, you're not living life in the way God meant for it to be lived. You're supposed to be able to look outside and hear the birds and enjoy them.
Mm-hmm. Not get mad because they're there in the first place.
Yeah, the birds used to wake me up in the morning sometimes, and I would get so fucking pissed.
Mm-hmm. Go out there with a shotgun and take out 15.
Yeah, slam shit. Like, just like how the audacity. Like, why are windows so thin? Why can't I hear you? Why can't you leave me alone? Why can't I sleep for a couple more hours? Why does God hate me? Me. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what was going on in my head every day. And then I had to wake up. And if it weren't for my kids and the way that my mother passed away, which I'm sure her passing away anyways probably would have done it.
Yeah.
But the way that she did on top of that, it broke me. Absolutely. I was broken anyways. That just absolutely shattered all the pieces. But I chose to put the pieces back together the way that I preferred them. Mm-hmm. And adjusted things along the way. So that's how we're here and soft. And oh my God, you're so great. You're so kind. You treat everybody so nice. Blah 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 blah.
And then she comes home and punches me in the head. So thank you all. Thank you for that. I get the brunt of all of your problems in my nose.
You're my punching bag.
Damn, that poor red couch.
Yeah, that poor red couch.
Honestly, that poor red couch.
It gets a lot of action.
Not good action. It's just the farts because I can't go get in my bed. Yeah, I can't. For whatever, this has nothing to do with it, but we need a lighthearted moment to break up that. But no, I don't know why. Wait, have we talked about how high my bed is?
I feel like I don't
probably
know.
have.
We've talked about it often, but
no, I guess my grandmother liked to sleep with Zeus.
I think we did it on the intermission episode.
We did, yeah. But I can't get in my bed, so poor couch.
It's like that guy from the Olympics that got his penis stuck on the pole vaulting.
Oh my God. And you know what? I have thoughts about that too. Because how many dick prints did I see out of these poor men?
Right.
Like, this whole man's career has been leveled to nothing but his dick hole getting stuck on that pole.
Like, he won in life.
Yeah, know? He won in so many ways, and he got a medal, and nobody cares about that.
He still got a medal, even whenever his.
I don't remember. Did he die or did he? Did he lose? I don't remember because you get 3 tries to get your best pole. He might have tried it again. But like his whole career, everything he's worked for, and all anybody can think of is the fact that his dick got stuck on the pole. Which I wonder if that hurt. Why aren't you wearing a cup?
I bet it did hurt, but at the same time.
He was from France, I think. All the French people have schlongs, I guess, because the diver guy, he also had a.
See, I was going to guess he was from Germany just because of my experience with the one German that I had.
Oh, my God. Can't relate. Can't relate. But.
Hi, Sven. I'm kidding.
I remember him, actually, now that you say that.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was so
heavens.
sweet. He made me sing Celine Dion almost on a daily basis while he played it on the piano, that Titanic song.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he was so cute.
Where is he now?
Germany, I'm pretty sure. Oh. He's married and has kids, I think.
Oh, good for him.
I haven't, whenever I deleted my Facebook after my divorce, I haven't seen him since then, so hope he's doing well. Holla.
If you're not doing well, listen to the podcast. It might help.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, you pretty much covered like 3/4 of this list in one sentence. Because it's all having to do with thinking you're hotter than you're not.
Yeah.
Than you are.
It is. And it comes from a very hurt place. And until they deal with that hurtness, it's not going to go away. There's nothing you can do to make it better other than accommodate their needs or what they think are their needs.
Right.
And a lot of times that means completely neglecting your own.
Yeah.
They are the disco ball and you are the moth, you know?
Which is where the exploitative behavior comes from. They learn how to exploit and to manipulate, and the lack of empathy. You know, I know from my own experience, I'm very empathetic. Like empathetic to the point that it has been detrimental.
And it honestly seems like it goes either way. Like you're either not
or too much
when you have trauma, or you're too much.
Right. And I'm like, we all are guilty of being a narcissist at some point. Like, I'll accept my faults. I'm sure I've done plenty wrong and on both sides. But, you know, when your partner, when you sit here and you feel things very deeply, or you're going through something and they don't have any capacity to be there for you whatsoever, but they expect you to be there for them when something is wrong.
Yeah.
They can't reciprocate. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the red flag. And it's not normal. That's not a relation. That's not any way, shape, or form a healthy relationship. I don't care what anybody says. Emotional neglect is not, it's not it.
I feel like a lot of the men that I have been with are that way. In general.
All the women I've been with are that way.
Yeah.
Like, accept it. Sit with it. You all are that way.
And the difference between, because I feel like you might come into a narcissist's life after they've had their total break, and they still have tendencies. How do you know the difference there?
That's what I think that at that point it's a self-awareness.
How do you know if you can fix them?
Can you? You're talking to me.
You can encourage them. You can't do the work.
We are not responsible for their fixings.
Is what it is. And the way that you love a narcissist or somebody who has tendencies but shows growth.
Yeah.
Is by setting boundaries.
Which is difficult for everyone.
You have to be brave enough to set boundaries, and you have to do it on the first time. You can't say, oh, honey, I'll get those dishes out of the sink. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to leave them there. I don't normally, even though you had dishes in your sink for 3 months once, and just throw them all away. You know? Yeah. What you do instead of accommodating those, be like, oh, every now and then I just leave them, and it's just a habit that I've gotten into. I do know that other people do things differently, but this is who I am as a person. I don't let roaches happen. I'll clean them tomorrow. I'm wore out. I worked all day. If you want them out of the sink, you ate too. You can clean them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You match it. You don't people please. You tell them your side of the story. And you make that empathy available for them. Yeah. If you're keeping your side in to accommodate them, that's your first red flag. If you're like, oh my God, so anxious, and you go inside and you're like, I did this wrong because of your own trauma, you can't even see if there's growth there because you haven't grown enough to see it. So in those moments, with anybody you meet, stop being different than who you actually are.
Yeah, if they're not going to accommodate, they'll go on their own.
That's right.
The people that benefit from you not having boundaries will leave when you start setting them.
And if they can't get over the fact that you cooked dinner and you left the dishes in the sink all night, or you just leave them there until you're ready to do them the next day because you just got off of a 10-hour work shift and you don't feel like it. If they're not okay with that, and that's something that you do often, just while you're home alone by yourself, do not accommodate them. You are that person, and it's okay. Fucking leave your dishes. Do them tomorrow.
Right. Or better yet, just do them yourself. You don't have to sit there and be like, why have you not done that? You got 2 hands.
Right. If you see an issue, fix it.
Right. Like, I'm not going to sit here. I have walked into your house 1,000 times and there's shit in the sink. I'm not be like, why are the dishes not fucking done, bro?
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, hey, let me go get your dishes.
Right.
I don't care. I'll go do them for you.
Or just shut the fuck up and leave them alone.
Exactly. Like, it's not like
it's not your house. This is the level of dirt I'm okay with. I don't have fucking roaches. Everybody's fine. We clean it once a week. Shut shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Or, you know, don't come into my house that's full of clutter and dust and realize that this is my home. You don't need to insult it and tell me that I need to clean it and show me where every speck of dust is. I don't need that from you.
No, not at all.
So, take notes.
Yes. No, and I feel like everybody has narcissistic tendencies in a way.
They do.
It's just we don't realize it until a boundary is set of, oh, this is not normal for that person.
Mm-hmm.
So let's be mutual and meet in the middle somewhere. What are you okay with here? Like if I come into your house and I know you've been depressed for 3 months,
mm-hmm. Which you
and
have
I'm like,
done.
Let me help this girl out.
And,
like,
and you do.
Where do we go there? Like, do I just pick up as I go? Or am I like, hey, is it okay if I touch these things? You have that conversation.
Yeah.
And you figure it out. And there's going to be some times where, you know, the other person feels so like ashamed of it that they don't respond, or they say, no, it's okay, whatever, like just sit down, whatever. But like whenever you have a friend trying to help you, the communication there is the biggest thing. Yeah. Or even a partner. Like I know Colby, whenever I get depressed, it's my nightstand that gets really bad. And because I'll eat in bed, there's some days whenever I'm depressed, I can't make it out of bed. Mm-hmm. And I get real gross and stinky, and he loves me anyways. He does keep his distance.
He keeps the Febreze in short toe. He's like behind, you know, you just hear sorry, that was the automatic air freshener. I've got it set extra high.
But like he'll just let it pile up. And I'm like, good. I don't want you to clean up my mess.
He's not your
I
maid.
will clean it up whenever I come out of my funk. It makes me feel even worse when you take care of me. Mm-hmm. And it's because of these conversations that we've had. So he doesn't fuss at me for my mess. He doesn't touch my mess. He just lets it sit there.
It's on your side of the bed.
And it's normally like 5 cups of water and a half-eaten bag of crackers is normally what it is.
Right.
But we take care of it when we take care of it, and it's fine. Shit happens. We've been through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's okay.
And we're doing so much at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but you've got to set those boundaries. You have to have those hard conversations, and you can't let your anxiety overrule your ability to communicate. Mm-hmm. This is something that me and my son are working on, because I feel like a lot of us are actually born with narcissistic tendencies because we are inside ourselves for most of our lives.
Right.
It is just you against the world, you know? And especially whenever you have a wild imagination and you have all these fantasies and you have a lot of alone time, like all of that shit keeps you inside of yourself and keeps you only seeing your ways or the ways of your immediate environment.
Right.
But I've been working on it a little bit with Garrett, how to, you know, be more empathetic and see other people, because Marcy's she's getting real close to
the change, the youthful change.
Chain of fools. Okay.
Chain of boobs. What did you just say?
Fools.
Oh, sorry. Got boobs.
But she's getting really close, and her emotions are all over the place. We started middle school this year. And so Garrett, poor dude, he's, cause I mean, I'm BPD, I'm bipolar, I am diagnosed autistic, which is probably just the BPD and bipolar and the brain damage from all the trauma.
From being slung into the ceiling fan.
And I've got so many other things, and I openly talk about these things with the kids and let them know how I'm feeling and let them know how I work through it, just because I know it runs in our DNA.
Right.
So we've been working on how to be emotionally empathetic without being a people pleaser, which is one of the hardest things to do.
Well, yeah.
But all it is boundaries. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
When you start spotting those red flags and you're like, but I actually kind of like this guy. or this girl or whatever. And you have these little hints of, ooh, ow,
Mm-hmm.
When you feel that, recognize what you're feeling. Where is it coming from? Is it a trigger from you or is it a projection from them? See if you can figure that out. And it could be both. And a lot of times with people who are trauma bonded, it is both.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and Colby, whoa. We get triggered a lot, but the communication's open. That line's open completely. Right. And we leave our emotions out of important conversations, is what I always say, because the second you bring an emotion into a narcissist, they light it on fire.
Yeah, they sure do.
So I learned to take my emotions out of my important conversations. In that heated blow up moment that a narcissist has, you stay monotoned and caring and empathetic. It's the next day after the calm down or the next day after the calm down that you have that important conversation. When you act this way, it makes me feel this way. Protect yourself in the moment if you need protection, always. But if you would keep your words and compile them into something more meaningful, more empathetic, because it's hard for us to be empathetic in those moments too. Take 48 hours. 48 hours to think of both sides. 48 hours to ask all the questions you need to ask to come to the conclusion that you come to. Of, when you did this action, it made me feel this way because my dad used to make me feel that way. And that really is off-putting to me. But I also understand in you where that comes from. But I would really like to change this.
Yeah.
And when you have a conversation like that,
constructive conversations.
Yes. You will either see if it's a grow or it's a no.
And that's what it is. Is it a grow or is it a no?
Yeah. And there's some things that it's a no, and some things you're toxic for asking for the change.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, you've also got to let them communicate and it be a whole round,
it's a circle
moment.
Not a straight line.
And if you want to be in a relationship with somebody, you'll find a medium that both of you are actually okay with. Do not agree to something that you're not okay with.
Yeah. Just to please the other person.
And actually sit there and think about it instead of giving such a quick answer. Because we're all taught up or brought up to be like quick response. Like, you're not good enough at backsassing. Like whenever you were getting in an argument with a girl and you're like, oh my God, let me think of a comeback, you know? Like, I used to sit around and think of comebacks all the time because I've always been slow.
You were ready.
But I needed to be ready. Yeah. And so, like, I used to think of comebacks all the time, and don't be that person anymore. Take your 48 hours. Take your 48 hours to let it marinate. And eventually it won't take 48 hours anymore, but you will know when the emotion isn't there anymore. When you stop feeling so heightened and you're more at rest and at ease and accepting. Because it could go both ways. It could go either way. If you lose this person because you set the boundary of, I need to do my dishes, or I'll do my dishes tomorrow, then is that person actually worth it? If they're going to freak out over something small as a dish, what happens whenever you forgot to pay the electric bill and it gets cut off?
Yeah.
What happens when you accidentally have a fender bender or forget?
When it's much, much worse.
You buy store brand instead of Campbell's, and all these things are actually things that I have done personally as a narcissist. Sorry, Colby. He now only buys Campbell's soup instead of the store
honestly,
brand.
let's be real. Okay, Campbell's is the only one that can make any canned soup worth anything.
But that's in that communication. You tell me what you're okay with. I would prefer Campbell's soup all day. But if we need to buy the store brand for some reason, that's fine too. Like, I'll settle for that.
Kill you.
And all he needed to hear was, I prefer Campbell's soup, because he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
He'll eat
buys the Campbell's soup now. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily make me a narcissist to want what I want.
It's how you deliver that want.
And the ability to meet in the middle.
Right.
You know? So boundaries are important. What were the other ones?
You covered the whole
all of
list,
them?
and yeah. Well, because they all feed and tie into each other. It's literally essentially the same statement 9 times.
It really is, but I feel like they don't go in depth of what it looks like because it's so cunning
It is.
and beautiful.
It's like AI photos.
It's like the best time of your life.
AI photos, man.
And then it's the worst time of your life.
And it flip-flops so quick, and
Mhm.
you're in it before you realize it.
And you feel unsafe leaving.
Yeah.
Because now there's a dependency because you feel stupid and like you can't do anything right.
Yes. I mean, that's why I stayed in Charleston as long as I did.
Yeah.
I was scared to leave.
Because you were like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't want to go back home. I don't feel safe.
I don't have anywhere to
anymore.
go.
This is my normal. This has been consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I know what's happening here. I need to help her. All these fears kept you there.
Mm-hmm. And ultimately put me at my lowest.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like if a little bit of fear keeps you safe, a lot of bit of fear keeps you stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like a lot of people, whenever they're like realize that it's their fear that's keeping them, they go the complete opposite direction and have no fear, and then they end up in a DV situation.
Mm-hmm.
And because I mean, if somebody's got narcissistic tendencies, they can get real dangerous real quick depending on what kind of home they grew up in.
Sorry, I just had to throw a pack of crackers at my cat because she's eating a fake plant.
Sushi. She's cleaning her teeth first.
She's
My cats do
flossing.
it too. That's why I can't have plants inside.
Well, at least it's fake. Actually, I don't even know what kind of plant that. I don't think that's a plant. I don't know what the fuck that is, but whatever.
I don't know. Do you think you're a narcissist?
I have been, yes.
What's your, like, when you think of your own tendencies, what are ones that you think of?
Expecting people to do things exactly the way that I do them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big one that I have too.
I've had a lot, like this past 6 months since I've broken my ankle and really been forced to sit with myself. Like, I accept my faults. My self-awareness is at an all-time high. Yeah. But expecting people to do things like I would do them. You can't expect yourself in everyone.
You cannot at all.
Because it's not there.
Nobody is you.
No. And but I don't even know.
Do you refuse to believe that your experience is so unique that nobody can do it like you?
No, I believe that now.
Good.
I understand that I am a single person in a single situation in my bubble. And nobody else.
Experiences and life choices and decisions that have led you to where you are now are yours. And
right.
Yours only.
Yes.
And I think that's what most people need to realize.
Yeah.
They think that everybody's the same.
We might have.
He knows what he's doing.
Right.
No, bitch, he don't.
No.
Communicate that.
Right. Like, while we may share similar experiences, you will never have mine.
No.
And I will never have yours. It doesn't matter.
I will never fill the depths of those.
No. And it doesn't matter if we grew up in the same house or if we grew up 10 million miles apart.
Yeah.
We might be in the same environment, but my experience is my own.
Yes.
And your experience is yours. And I am not responsible for your experience.
Yes. Your perspective is completely different than mine.
Both in height and weight.
And I mean, we've read those books and watched those movies that are done in different characters' perspectives, like The Wizard of Oz and Wicked. And you find empathy for both.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that's what I feel like we have to do in real life to communicate and to love each other better, is to listen to other people's perspectives and quit thinking they're trying to control me. I'm not going to go with their advice. They have no idea what they're talking about. They do in their own situation, you know?
But yeah, man, that was a heavy conversation that needed to be had.
It does. It does. I see it where I now own a salon, which was my humbling. Because I used to be a manager at Sonic, and that's whenever I was like, my way is the right way. You're going to do it my way. And if you don't do it my way, you're going to get bitched out or fired or whatever.
Right.
And I remember my manager telling me, everybody thinks you're a bitch. That's why you can't be assistant or something like that. And I was like, well, I mean, you have to be as a manager. That's what I was convinced of, is like, you have
Right.
to be this way to get people to
Run a tight
respect
ship.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not actually how. So I challenged myself with the salon because I wanted everybody to feel loved and I wanted them to feel comfortable being who they are. I had taken my mask off at this point, which Colby helped me do while we were both sharing narcissistic tendencies and both alcoholics and all these things. There was growth in every conversation we had. I think that's how you know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There is growth and accommodation and love and empathy in all those conversations. Every single hard conversation we've had. Yes, have we thrown fits? Colby almost walked out one time. One time he touched the doorknob and said, nope, that would be a mistake, and turned around and came and talked to me. And that was way at the beginning of our relationship. And also, another red flag, I love you in the first month.
Yeah. No, you don't.
Bitch.
No, you fucking
You don't even know me.
Right.
You haven't even met my parents.
Right.
You don't know my past relationships because I'm not comfortable talking to you about them yet. You don't know any of my friends. You don't know what I'm like when I'm on my period.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guilty of that. 1,000%. But you just get so filled with emotion, you can't
Can we
keep
not
it.
just say I enjoy being around you?
No.
I enjoy the time that we're doing this, and I enjoy our adventures, and I enjoy this. Does it always have to be love?
No.
Love is unconditional. There's no way you can
A month in.
unconditionally
No.
love somebody.
No. At me.
Yeah.
I'm guilty. And that's another part. Like, yeah, but I'm aware of that now.
Can you know that you really enjoy spending time with who this person is right now in this moment?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, you can know that.
And it's okay if you've done it or been there. Just do better.
Yeah.
Do better.
And the second that you don't enjoy it, stop telling yourself, oh, it's just
But
a
I
moment.
love that. No, you
No.
don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No.
And that's on the T,
And
beach.
anytime somebody makes you feel scared
Leave.
within your first month to first 6 months to first year, honestly, if they make you feel scared for your life in some way because they are overpowering and destructive and pop off, you are not safe.
No.
Leave.
That's not love.
It's not.
That's not love in any way.
And that's where the boundaries come in. Because the thing is, you can still see this person and be empathetic to that person and all those things in certain situations. There's some situations go too far.
Yeah.
And you need to turn
the road
around
does stop eventually.
and don't go back, burn that fucking bridge.
Get on a different one.
But if you're in the moment before it happens and you realize, I think I'm with a narcissist. I think this is love bombing. What do you do? How do you get past that? Like, where do you go from there? Do you cut it off completely and turn around whenever you can see this poor little thing inside hurting and they're like a toddler because they have not developed any coping skills at all their whole life? What do you do in that moment? What do you do now, Bex?
Well, I do nothing. I'm the one sitting there trying to fix, but I'm also not in the capacity to think in a relationship mindset right now because I am very focused on fixing.
You're in
what
a
is wrong
relationship with yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing, and everybody needs to do that. You should always be in a relationship with yourself.
Yeah, because nobody's going to take care of you as good as you do. And so, like, it's hard for me to think that way right now because my past relationships have been toxic and volatile and narcissistic centered on one side or another. Both. We're all guilty. And I'm committed to not ever letting that happen again. So I'm going to fix what I can control and fix me and get my self-awareness where I'm at so that I don't do anything to another person like that. So I'm a grow, not a no.
That should be. Woo! Standing ovation. Encore. Encore.
Ooh. I tried. I really did. Hold on.
It's the ooh.
Hold on. There it is. I figured out my button. Okay. But yeah.
You should. I'm happy for you.
That's where, So maybe ask me again in a year or two.
Yeah. I feel like you need to start catching triggers first.
Yeah.
catching triggers and identifying the triggers and saying, why do the dishes in the sink make you feel that way? Like, explain to me where you're coming from so I can get a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
And say if his dad beat the shit out of his mom one time with the dishes in the sink,
Mm-hmm.
it might make you feel a different type of way about putting those dishes up.
Yeah.
You know? And at one point, it's a respect thing.
Yes.
It's you shared this moment with me, and I understand that is a probably PTSD moment that there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm going to do my best to help avoid this trigger.
To not put you in that headspace.
And if we need to do it together, like I'll cook dinner, you do the dishes, or you cook dinner, I'll do the dishes.
There's compromise.
You compromise.
There always has to be compromise.
Mm-hmm.
It is not one way or the highway. There is compromise
From
and balance
both sides.
from both people.
And if there's not compromise,
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. So, like, those were things that, because I've always looked at myself, and I have so many friends that look at themselves and say, I'm the narcissist. Mm-hmm. I'm the problem. Mm-hmm. We all turn in because we weren't allowed to turn out because we were living with a narcissist in some way, most likely. Mm-hmm. But I did that a lot, and I was like, I'm a narcissist for wanting this. Like, I was the person that taught my husband how to fold towels. Mm-hmm. Because he literally lived out of a laundry basket whenever him and I got together. He didn't have a dresser or anything. He had clean clothes in a laundry basket. The dirty clothes were in the floor over there.
Oh, so like me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And whenever I go into your bathroom, I'm like,
yeah. Well, that's because I'm crippled right now. And that's, well, because I can't get to my dresser.
Yeah. Well,
it's a little different right now.
He was crippled in his own ways back then. But
and physically crippled.
He's definitely grown and healed just like you're going to grow and heal. Mm-hmm. And he has a closet now. And
some hangers.
He has one tiny little towel closet. I have the rest of the closets.
Jesus.
But there were little things that upset me. And I'm trying to think of, whenever he works on a car. I come from a gearhead. Like, I was raised at a racetrack, basically. Like, we were there every weekend. We were always working on cars. And, like, I know how to do a lot of the car things. I couldn't tell you any names of most of the parts, but I can tell you what the part does and where it goes and how to take it off. And so I was taught this my whole life. Whenever we first got together and he moved in with me, whenever we lived in the apartment, he changed his own oil and happened to drain his transmission fluid instead.
Oh, good.
And it was in that moment that I was like,
it's the long breath.
Is this a man? You know, and that was so narcissistically privileged of me that I was like, God, you're a terrible person.
Just because he picked the wrong
that
bolt.
He doesn't know. Or that he didn't know that particular car, because he's been in multiple different types of cars, you know? So it's okay that he didn't know where it was on that car.
Right.
And it was me that was having that icky taste in my mouth that wanted to say, you know, why didn't you look it up? There's YouTube videos on it. You can look up the year of your car and it'll show you exactly why are you like this? It was me that wanted to say it, but I didn't. I decided to keep that one in. Sorry, Colby, that you're hearing that for the first time, but you're still with me. And that was 4 years ago. So obviously I've overcome. And he's actually gotten a lot better at working and fixing things. And it's like it's like a puzzle to him now. He gets a little excited whenever he has something to do. It's a burden, yes, anytime a car breaks down, or something happens, but he's like, let's figure this out.
Hit it.
And he actually has that I can do this because he can, and it's great. Anyways, so you grow and compromise, and it's a beautiful thing. But whenever you're constantly getting red flags, how do you get out of it? That's also with boundaries. You say, I don't feel comfortable here, or you're doing these things that are making me feel uncomfortable. I need to take my space. I need more time, or, I just don't think this is going to work out, whatever. But I feel like a lot of us that have went through trauma and we have those people-pleasing tendencies, we like to linger to make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of narcissists are like, I'm going to end it, you know, like whatever, whenever you want to leave them. We don't want to leave them because we've cared for them already for so long. They're really creative people. And there's a lot of narcissists in our government right now too.
Oh God! Don't put that Band-Aid back. Put that Band-Aid.
It's made up of narcissists.
On
Anarchy.
Both sides. Don't come for us.
Listen, it's both. It's
everybody.
Fucking body.
Everybody in the
we
club
all
get tipsy.
have a little narcissism in me, and that's why I'm like, is it a grow or a go? Because if you all can grow, those tendencies aren't so bad.
Does this apply if they're a grower or a shower? Do you think is that there too?
From what I know about people, the people who are showers are the more
narcissists.
likely to be the narcissist.
Yes.
Because they've been told their whole life, you got big dick energy, you know?
You got big dick energy, even though you ain't got know how to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the people that I know are narcissists, like full on, don't give a fuck, never going to change in their lives. There's something about their body that they're very, very, very confident about, whether man, woman, whether it's boobs, butts, BBL, baby, BBL. Yeah. So I feel like for the rest of the world who isn't included there, for the rest of the world, it's most likely just what you were brought up in. And your normal is only yours.
It's no one else's.
And in order to realize that, a lot of times you've got to step outside of it and realize, hey, there were actually some things that I didn't like about this. And then I don't want to project onto the world. I don't want to be that person. And you have to do things to change it and not sit there and say, this is just how I am.
No.
Now, whenever it comes to Velvet, I can't do it. That's not narcissistic. That's autism.
Velvet's nasty.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Do you remember our friend that couldn't stand corduroy? Hates corduroy.
Completely.
I remember one time, I think it was a purse or something when we were in high school. And she like, Becky, I'm going to fucking beat you.
Oh my God.
She got so
Just
angry.
even looking at it.
Oh, no, well, I tried to touch her with it.
Oh my God.
I didn't know, you know? And then I about got my head slammed into
I'd
the
say so. She's
sink.
mean.
I love her though.
Oh God, I love her so much. She was my
If
client.
she wasn't married to a man, girl, come on.
Hey, sister.
Sister soul, sister.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that was a whole 53 minutes of some hard ass talk.
Yeah. If you need more help with this, or you have any advice, life questions,
Call Dr. Phil.
Yeah. Send them in. The lash therapist will help you.
The lash therapist.
Yeah.
And then the goon over here, because I'm not a lash therapist. I'm just a goon therapist.
And if we can't help you, we at least will let you know you're not alone.
This is a safe space to vent.
Yep.
And I also want to say a couple of things. Again, we have stickers now. They are out there and on sale. Give me your money, girl. I got to pay for them back. So you can get one for $2 or both for $3.50. You just
$3.50.
So yeah, there's that shameless plug.
They look really cute.
Oh my God. I've put them all over everything.
Good.
And I've gotten so many compliments. That wet floor Cheyenne, bitch, you, girl.
Yeah.
You did so great. Good. And we have a couple new logos. Those are going to show up here pretty soon. She's been working overtime.
We need you to buy these stickers so we can buy more stickers.
And t-shirts. Because somebody wanted a hoodie, and now I'm all about embroidery hoodies, and them bitches are expensive. So if y'all interested in that, holla. But another...
and if you want to sponsor that, holla.
And we also had our first subscription, a first paid subscription. Shannon, you're incredible.
We love you, Shannon.
She's fantastic. She was the unlucky soul that got to ride with me in the ambulance in Baltimore.
I say she was pretty lucky to do that.
I'm the lucky one. Yeah. I mean, they're probably lucky too. They're pretty fucking great. But I'm the lucky one. No, yes, those and your stuff's coming in the mail. Be on the lookout. But yeah, so thank you. We really appreciate all the support.
We do, and the encouragement. It keeps us moving.
It does. I mean, on top of the fact that we just love doing this to begin with, we like to hear ourselves talk.
Yeah.
So, but All right, I'm finished.
All right, I'm done.
Okay, bye.
Bye.